Welcome to this English practice session. Today, we will talk about something surprising and fascinating, the secret life of trees. You may see trees every day, but do you know what's happening inside them? Trees are more than just plants. Let's explore the mysterious and wonderful world of trees. What are trees really like? At first glance, trees seem to be just large plants standing still, with their leaves blowing in the wind. But if you look closely, you'll realize that trees are much more complex. They are living organisms with their own unique way of surviving and communicating with the world around them. Trees grow, breathe, and even talk to each other. Imagine a tree as a tiny seed at first. It grows through years of struggles and challenges to become the giant you see today. However, every part of a tree is carefully designed for survival, from its roots to its branches. It's a miracle of nature. The underground world of trees. Let's begin by looking beneath the ground. While we see the tall trunks and leaves, the most fascinating part of a tree is what's hidden underground. The tree's roots spread out under the soil, sometimes going deeper than the height of the tree itself. Roots are not only important for gathering water and nutrients, but they also help the tree stay anchored and safe in the ground. One amazing fact about roots is their ability to communicate with one another. Through a system called the Wood Wide Web, trees can send messages through their roots. If one tree is facing a problem like disease, it can warn nearby trees. Trees also share nutrients through this network, helping each other in times of need. For example, if one tree is not getting enough sunlight, it may receive nutrients from a nearby tree that is stronger or healthier. How trees grow and survive. Now, let's talk about how trees grow. Trees are incredibly intelligent organisms. They grow slowly, but steadily, and they never stop adapting to their environment. When you look at a tree, you might notice its branches are always reaching for the light. This is because trees rely on a process called photosynthesis to survive. Through photosynthesis, trees take sunlight, carbon dioxide from the air, and water from the soil to create their food. This food is used to build the tree's structure and to give it the energy it needs to grow taller, stronger, and wider. Without photosynthesis, trees wouldn't be able to survive. But trees don't just grow in a random way. They grow in response to their environment. For instance, if a tree is in a forest where many other trees are competing for light, it will grow taller and thinner to reach the sunlight. If a tree is on an open hill, it may grow shorter but have a wider canopy to capture as much sunlight as possible. The seasons in trees. Trees are also greatly influenced by the seasons. In the spring, many trees grow new leaves and flowers. They gather energy from the sun, and everything is full of life. Summer is when trees are at their peak, fully developed with lots of leaves making food through photosynthesis. As the weather changes and autumn arrives, something incredible happens. Many trees begin to shed their leaves. This process is known as abscission, and it's a survival strategy. When the cold weather of winter comes, trees need to conserve energy and water. By dropping their leaves, they reduce water loss and protect themselves from the harsh conditions. In winter, trees enter a period of dormancy, much like hibernation. They are still alive, but they are not actively growing. This is when they rely on the energy they stored in the warmer months. The life cycle of a tree. Trees, like all living organisms, have a life cycle. They start as seeds. From these seeds, tiny saplings grow. Over many years, these saplings mature into full-grown trees. But trees don't live forever. After many decades or even centuries, trees begin to age. As they grow older, their growth slows down, and they become more vulnerable to disease in the environment. When trees die, their role doesn't end. Fallen trees are very important to the ecosystem. They provide homes for insects, fungi, and small animals. Dead trees break down and release valuable nutrients into the soil. This process helps new plants and trees grow in the same area. Even after death, a tree continues to help its environment, proving that every part of a tree's life, and even its death, has meaning. The role of trees in the ecosystem. Trees do so much for the environment. They are not just pretty to look at. They are critical to maintaining life on Earth. One of their most important roles is cleaning the air. Trees absorb carbon dioxide, a harmful greenhouse gas, and release oxygen, which all living creatures need to survive. In addition to purifying the air, trees help prevent soil erosion. Their roots hold the soil together, reducing the risk of floods and landslides. When a tree falls, its decomposition enriches the soil, adding nutrients that help other plants grow. Trees are also crucial in regulating the climate. They cool the air by releasing moisture, which increases humidity and helps keep the temperature lower during hot weather. They also provide shade, which lowers the temperature in forests and cities. Trees and humans. Humans have a deep and ancient connection with trees. For thousands of years, we have depended on trees for many things: food, medicine, shelter, and even for emotional support. Some cultures believe that trees are sacred, seeing them as symbols of life, wisdom, and strength. Have you ever hugged a tree? Or sat under one on a hot day? Many people find peace and calm when surrounded by trees. Being in nature, especially in forests, has been shown to lower stress levels, improve mood, and even boost creativity. So, next time you're feeling stressed, try spending some time outside with trees. Threats to trees. Sadly, trees are facing many threats. Deforestation is one of the biggest problems. When forests are cut down to make space for buildings, roads, or agriculture, it not only harms the trees but also the animals and plants that depend on them. In some parts of the world, entire forests are disappearing, and with them, thousands of species of animals and plants are at risk of extinction. Climate change is also affecting trees. Higher temperatures, droughts, and stronger storms make it harder for trees to survive. Additionally, pests and diseases are spreading more easily due to warmer climates. Some trees may not be able to adapt to these changes. The future of trees. Although many trees are in danger, there is hope. Many organizations are working hard to protect trees and forests. Reforestation is the process of planting trees in areas where forests have been lost. Replanting trees not only helps fight climate change but also restores habitats for animals and keeps ecosystems healthy. Governments and communities around the world are becoming more aware of the importance of trees. In many places, efforts are being made to protect existing forests, create new green spaces in cities, and plant millions of trees. Even small actions can make a difference. By reducing waste, planting trees, and supporting organizations that protect forests, we can all contribute to preserving these amazing organisms. So, the next time you walk through a park or forest, take a moment to appreciate the trees. They are not just beautiful, tall plants, but incredible living beings with a vital role in maintaining life on Earth. Trees give us clean air, shelter, food, and a connection to nature. How trees adapt to their environment. Trees are incredible survivors. Over the years, they have developed unique ways to adapt to different environments. Whether it's a dry desert or a wet rainforest, trees have found strategies to thrive in almost every part of the world. One of the most interesting adaptations of trees is their ability to survive in drought conditions. In some dry areas, trees have deep roots that go far below the surface to access underground water sources. This helps them survive during dry spells when there is little rainfall. Other trees, like those in deserts, have small, thick leaves or even no leaves at all to reduce water loss through evaporation. On the other hand, trees in tropical rainforests have wide leaves that can absorb as much sunlight as possible. Their roots often grow on top of the soil, forming a shallow network to gather water and nutrients quickly from the abundant rainfall. In colder climates, trees like pines and firs have needle-shaped leaves. These leaves are coated with a waxy layer that helps them retain moisture and prevents them from freezing. The shape of these trees also helps them shed snow more easily, preventing the weight from damaging the branches. The importance of forests. Forests are not just a collection of trees. They are complex ecosystems that provide countless benefits to the environment and humans. They are home to millions of species of plants, animals, and microorganisms. In fact, forests make up nearly 30% of the Earth's land area, and they house about 80% of the planet's terrestrial biodiversity. Besides the animals and plants that live in them, forests are essential for maintaining the balance of our atmosphere. They absorb carbon dioxide, helping to reduce the impact of climate change. In fact, the Amazon rainforest, often called the lungs of the earth, produces about 20% of the world's oxygen. Forests also regulate local weather patterns. They help prevent floods by absorbing large amounts of water during rainy seasons. In addition, trees help in the natural process of water purification by filtering rainwater as it flows through the roots into the ground. Threats to forests and trees. Unfortunately, forests are under threat from human activity. Deforestation is one of the biggest problems we face today. Trees are being cut down to make way for agriculture, cities, and roads. This destroys habitats for countless species, contributes to climate change by releasing stored carbon dioxide, and disrupts the balance of local ecosystems. Moreover, pollution is a serious issue. Air pollution, water pollution, and soil contamination all affect trees and the health of forests. For example, pollutants like sulfur dioxide and nitrogen oxide can damage the leaves of trees, reducing their ability to perform photosynthesis. This weakens the tree's defenses, making it more vulnerable to pests and diseases. Another danger is the spread of invasive species, plants or animals that are not native to a region and disrupt the local ecosystem. Invasive species can outcompete native plants for space, nutrients, and light, harming the trees and the animals that rely on them. The role of trees in combating climate change. One of the most urgent issues facing our planet today is climate change. As we all know, the Earth is getting warmer, and extreme weather events are becoming more common. Trees play a vital role in fighting climate change. They absorb carbon dioxide from the air, which is one of the main greenhouse gases responsible for global warming. Forests act as carbon sinks, meaning they store large amounts of carbon. In fact, forests around the world absorb roughly 1/3 of all human-made carbon emissions. This is why protecting trees is so important. By cutting down trees, we release that stored carbon back into the atmosphere, making climate change worse. Additionally, trees help cool the earth naturally. They release moisture into the air through a process called transpiration, which helps to cool down the surrounding environment. This is why forests and green spaces are so important in cities. They can lower urban temperatures and reduce the impact of heat waves. Planting trees. A simple action with big benefits. Planting trees is one of the most effective ways we can fight climate change and help the planet. Every tree planted absorbs carbon dioxide and releases oxygen, providing fresh air for us to breathe. In urban areas, trees can help reduce the heat island effect, cool down the environment, and improve air quality. Many communities around the world are starting tree planting initiatives. These programs not only help the environment but also bring people together. Schools, neighborhoods, and organizations are planting trees as a way to teach future generations about the importance of nature and the environment. In some countries, governments have even launched national reforestation projects to restore forests that have been destroyed. Reforestation can bring back wildlife habitats, restore soil quality, and help bring balance back to ecosystems. Even if you don't have a large space to plant a tree, there are small steps you can take. For example, you can participate in local tree planting events, plant a tree in your garden, or encourage your school or workplace to start a green initiative. The spiritual and cultural significance of trees. Beyond their environmental importance, trees hold deep spiritual and cultural significance in many cultures around the world. In various ancient civilizations, trees were seen as symbols of life, strength, and wisdom. Many cultures have sacred trees, believed to hold spiritual power or serve as symbols of connection between the heavens and the earth. For example, in Norse mythology, the Yggdrasil, or tree of life, was thought to connect the 9 worlds of existence. In the Hindu tradition, the Bodhi tree is sacred because it is believed to be the tree under which Siddhartha Gautama, the Buddha, achieved enlightenment. In modern times, trees still play a role in many spiritual practices. People often visit forests or stand near trees to meditate, relax, and connect with nature. The simple act of sitting under a tree can have a calming effect, helping to reduce stress and clear the mind. As we continue to face environmental challenges, we must remember the vital role trees play in the health of our planet. Trees are not only beautiful and calming, but they are also essential to our survival. They provide us with clean air, support biodiversity, and help fight climate change. They give us food, medicine, and shelter, and they even provide us with emotional and spiritual healing. So, whether you're planting a tree, supporting reforestation efforts, or simply taking a moment to appreciate the trees around you, remember that every action counts. Together, we can make a difference in preserving these incredible living organisms for generations to come. Thank you for continuing to explore the secret life of trees with me. Keep learning, keep practicing, and remember, trees are not just the lungs of the earth, but the heartbeat of our environment.
Thank you for watching.